And then the last thing I wanted to add on was in terms of the real estate taxes, because New York City is on a fiscal year, which means that they budget from July to June. The right now the information that's available is July of 21 to June of 22, which not even that's not fully available. So when you're doing a budget for 22, you're really shooting into the dark and using assumptions for July of 22 till the end of 22. So that could work in both in the building's favor and also not in the building's favor. So when you're trying to do a budget, and a lot of buildings will do this, they'll be more conservative on the real estate taxes, because since that's the biggest number you have in your budget, you don't, if that number goes south and is off budget, that could be a 1 or 2% could be a lot of money for certain buildings. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that number as those numbers come out during the year. So I've had buildings do this where they'll set a number, but let's say they won't do an increase because they don't need it, but they'll say, all right, well, we'll look in June of that year, in the middle of the year, and see how the new real estate tax year, projected forecasters are going to look. If they're in line with budget, then great. If they're not, they might consider doing an increase in June to make up for the real estate taxes they didn't budget for. And again, it doesn't happen all the time, but depending on the building and depending on whether or not you don't want to be so conservative with the real estate taxes, it's an approach that you might want to implement when it comes to your building, when you're looking at that number, which is such a big